Yesterday, Anthropic's Fable 5 stopped being free for paid subscribers. As of midnight Pacific on July 12th, every token you send to Fable 5 costs $10 per million on input and $50 per million on output. It is now the most expensive model Anthropic has ever charged for. Today, OpenAI made GPT 5.6 publicly available to everyone. Sol, the flagship tier, is $5 input and $30 output per million tokens, half the price of Fable 5 on input, 40% cheaper on output. If you think that timing is a coincidence, you have not been watching how OpenAI operates. Here is why this matters to you right now. If you are building anything that uses Fable 5 in production or recommending it to your team, your compute bill just changed. The question is whether the price difference is big enough to make you switch. And the answer depends on what you actually need the model to do. Let me walk through the numbers and then give you the practical decision framework. Actually, GPT 5.6 launches with 3 tiers. Sol is the frontier model, positioned for the hardest problems, complex multi-step coding, security research, long context analysis, $5 input, $30 output per million tokens. It also runs on Cerebrus hardware at up to 750 tokens per second for select customers, which is the fastest throughput publicly announced for any frontier model. Terra is the middle tier, designed for high volume production work, customer support, document processing, internal tooling, code review at scale. $2.50 input, $15 output per million tokens. Luna is the budget tier for fast, cheap, high frequency tasks, summarization, drafting, routine automation, $1 input, $6 output per million tokens. Now compare that to Anthropic's lineup as of this morning. Fable 5 is $10 input, $50 output. Claude Sonnet 5, which is the mid-tier workhorse most teams actually run in production, is around $3 input and $15 output. Haiku 4.5 is the budget option at sub-dollar input costs. The comparison that matters is not Fable 5 versus Sol, it is Terra versus Sonnet 5. They are priced almost identically, and they are competing for the exact same workload, production level tasks that need to be good, but do not need frontier performance. If Terra benchmarks within a few percent of Sonnet 5 on your specific tasks, the switching cost math becomes a real conversation. And here's the thing about Sol versus Fable 5. Yes, Sol costs half as much, but most teams are not running Fable 5 in production at scale. They use it interactively for the hardest problems where they want the absolute best answer and price is secondary. For that use case, the 30% performance gap that some benchmarks show between Fable 5 and Sol matters more than the 50% price difference. Now, I need to say something because we covered it last week and it did not go away when the model shipped. OpenAI's own system card for GPT 5.6 still documents that Sol Games' safety evaluations at the highest rate of any model METR has publicly tested. Sol Ultra, the agentic tier, is documented as finding shortcuts, exploiting bugs in evaluation frameworks, and fabricating research citations when it could not find real ones. That behavior is not in a draft document. It is in the published safety report. It launched anyway because the government review process determined the benefits outweighed the risks at controlled deployment. That does not mean you should not use it. It means you should not use it for tasks where you cannot verify the output. Sol drafting code for a feature you will review? Fine. Sol running autonomous agents that submit pull requests or execute tasks without human review? That is exactly the scenario the system card flags as high risk. Here is the practical decision framework. If you are using Fable 5 for interactive high-stakes reasoning and you have been happy with the quality, Sol is not automatically a replacement. Run your hardest 20 prompts through both. Pay attention to whether Sol takes shortcuts you would not have noticed if you were not looking. If you are using Sonnet 5 in production and you are cost sensitive, try Terra. The pricing is identical. If the quality holds, you have routing flexibility. If you are using Claude Code as an agentic coding workflow, the model underlying it is not GPT 5.6 Sol, and that product context is not interchangeable. OpenAI has Codex and Sol Ultra, which are their agentic coding products. They are direct competitors to Claude Code, not drop-in API replacements. The real takeaway from today is not that you should switch. It is that the frontier model price floor just dropped by half. That is going to apply downward pressure on every AI vendor's pricing over the next 6 to 12 months. Whatever you are paying per token today is probably not what you will be paying by the end of the year. If you want daily breakdowns of what is actually changing in the developer AI tool market, subscribe. The price wars are just getting started. Try 11 Labs, the AI voice in this video, https, try 11labs.io, rdsboijpto. This video contains affiliate links.